grade teachers are here to talk to you a little bit today about what Letterland looks like in first grade. But I wanted to kick this video off by telling you I am coming from kindergarten in Letterland, and I am ready to rock and roll in first grade. It's going to look very different for your first grader than it did in kindergarten when it comes to Letterland. In kindergarten, it was all about the letters, the characters, the sounds, the stories. We had tons of fun getting to know who's who in Letterland. But there's a big transition to actually being able to read and write with these Letterland characters in first grade. So we wanted to take you through what a unit of Letterland looks like so that you know what to expect, because we cannot do this without your help. We will be video recording lessons. We will be doing all of the teaching part, but your job is the practice and the application. So for the first few days, we really need you to support your students in the transfer of the skills that we're teaching. And then by day 5, our hope is that they can do these things independently. So I have the rest of my friends here. I'm gonna hop off and they're gonna talk to you about each of the days in a unit of Letterland.
On day 1, your student will get a student list. This will introduce you to the spelling pattern of the week, and you will also see the tricky words at the top, which are also known as those core words. They might be high frequency words. They're words that can't be tapped out or sound out. They just sound it out. They need to just come from the brain. You'll have 3 lists. While we're going to be focusing on list A, for fluency purposes, your student should be practicing all of the words on this page. The tricky words, list A, B, C, and the sentences. By the beginning of the year, your child should be able to read 15 words in a minute, which is right here. By the middle of the year, your child should be reading 25 words in a minute, and by the end of the year, your child should be able to read 35 words in a minute. But they get harder. I'm going to hop off, and somebody else is going to talk to you about the next.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Malahayas, and I'm here to talk to you about day 2. On day 2, it is all about the quick dash, and your child will know the Letterland character like Annie Apple and the sound that Annie Apple makes, ah. Also, you will be getting some sentences, and on that activity, your child will be able to read this sentence fluently, and then they'll be able to write it and illustrate it. Next, we'll have day.
Hi families, Mrs. Costello here. So by day 3, we're hoping that your child is getting a little bit more independent with that word list that they've gotten and some of those sentences that they've been reading from the day 2. So now in day 3, they're going to get to sort their words by the word patterns that they see at the end of the words. Right here you can see add, app, and at word patterns. You might need to help them a little bit at home, but we're asking you to really help your child be independent, because remember, by Friday, we want them to be able to read these independently.
So again, we've seen these different components in isolation. We had day 1, which talked about the overall patterns and the tricky words. We had day 2, which was this transfer into sentences. We had day 3, which was beginning to sort by pattern. And then we get to day 4. Ooh. On day 4, we're looking at a completely new story where we put the tricky words and the pattern words together, okay? This is where that focus on fluency comes in. If you've been practicing the words per minute in the list and you've been practicing the sentences, your student should be able to get more fluent with reading this story. You should read this story over and over and over again, because fluency is all about getting faster but more expressive and about being able to store the words up in your brain. So we really want them to be able to go across the page, track those words, and then take their finger away and be able to read fluently.
All right, guys, so on Friday, this is the most important. Your child will be completely independent to take their spelling test. On their spelling test, they will hear their teacher say the word, and they are going to have to write it. They're also going to have to write those new sentences that they learned, and they're going to be practicing their fluency by reading a new book on Seesaw, using the spelling pattern that they learned for the week.
So, in conclusion, we as a team are very excited to be a part of your child's reading journey. First grade is such a magical time to learn to read, and Letterland is an integral part of that journey. We need your help, we appreciate it, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call your child's teacher. We love you and we wish you well. Bye-bye.